2024 Best Actor nominee Bradley Cooper stars in Silver Linings Playbook, which is currently available on Netflix with audio description. So felt kind of good doing a Netflix film for the guy nominated for a Netflix movie this year. Not gonna lie, but also this is redemption because the co-stars Robert De Niro, and when I did my De Niro pick, it was Flawless, which did not have audio description, but I felt like it was a film that if we didn't talk about it, was just gonna die, just gonna leave everybody's memories. Um, so I wanted to talk about that. And this also has Jennifer Lawrence, Jackie Weaver, Julia Stiles, Chris Tucker, John Ortiz, and Shea Wiggum. They're all in this, and it's written and directed by David O. Russell. This had the esteemed honor of getting an actor, supporting actress, and supporting actor nomination all at the Oscars, in addition to, of course, Best Picture. Somehow I've convinced myself that this is like an inconsequential film that just like was released around Oscar season. We all went like, "Oh, this film's fun. Yeah, good job, guys! Yay!" I actually really like this film again. The film was released in 2012. I'm rewatching it again in 2024, so it's been a hot minute. This film hit me exactly like if this film had been, it was my first time watching it this year, easily top 10, possibly vying again for Best Picture. I mean, in my mind. So, I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's got some standard rom-com tropes in it, obviously, but it also puts two people who are sort of little little grenades waiting to happen together in this sort of messed up relationship, and somehow yet they work, and that's what's good about it. And uh, I I think all the performances are great. Um, Even notably the fact that they pull in Chris Tucker here into a dramatic role. I would say a mostly dramatic role, a different role for Chris Tucker than the guy who used to scream at Jackie Chan. Um, yeah, it still holds up. We see Cooper playing Pat, and he's got a lot of energy and just bouncing with energy, bouncing with ideas and thoughts, and he wants to get back out there into the world. And his mom checks him out and takes him home, but is he quite ready to be at home? Then we learn why this whole thing has happened to him, why he's in a situation, and it's a totally relatable experience too. And it is one where you feel like there isn't really, they don't do enough of a job of convincing you that he was a danger before the situation. And when he explains it, you kind of go, yeah, why did we put him away? Oh, well, he was violent. It's like, uh, I mean, yeah, but I mean, did you hear why? So like, not that I mean, plenty of murders have happened for that way, and I don't want to excuse all that, but kind of the icing on the cake was the guy turning around and being like, "You should leave," and I was like, "Uh, no, sir, this is my house." That would have been my response too. I'd have been like, "No, you can get up." I probably would have pulled his ass out of the shower and thrown him out of my house naked on the street. So yeah, I think most people can relate to this character because the thing that he did was not like unforgivable. It's the kind of thing where you go, yeah, probably a lot of people would have done that, and then to find yourself in sort of this situation where I don't know that it's making it any better to be locked away in a mental institution for 8 months. I don't know that that makes him a better human being. Probably just therapy would have gotten him through that. Um, but he's here now, and he's not doing great. And then he meets Tiffany, which played by Jennifer Lawrence, who's going through her own set of problems because she's obviously young, and she's now a widow, and she doesn't really want to talk about that. Um, And so she had her own reaction to her traumatic life event. And now she just kind of doesn't accept bullshit. She just kind of says what she wants to say when she wants to say it, does what she wants to do when she wants to do it. And these two people meet, and it's just incredibly interesting because it's it only has that will they or won't they feel because of the fact that any film that's like this would have that will they or won't they feel. And the only reason why people would turn away from this and be like, nah, would be if like your favorite film was like The Breakup, starring Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn, and you feel like empowered whenever you watch a film and somehow the people don't end up together at the end, and you're like, oh my god, that was amazing. Yeah, I just ruined The Breakup. But it is a film called The Breakup, and it came out almost 20 years ago. It was a 2005 release, looking at a 19-year-old film called The Breakup. So sorry for that one, but chances are I have people who watch my YouTube channel who aren't even 19 years old. So it's older than them. Anyway, Silver Linings Playbook. He does this thing with Excelsior, and he looks for the silver lining and things. It feels like he picked up parts of therapy and like he's making his own therapy, like what works for him, his own package therapy. He does have to see a therapist when he's out of the mental hospital, and so we see that interaction with the doctor, and there's a really cool sort of interaction at a football game that involves seeing the doctor sort of out in public. You know, it's always weird when you see somebody like that out in public just trying to do like a regular thing. And you're like, hey, that's my guy. What's he? Is he wearing? Is he wearing face paint for the team? This is the guy that gives me medical advice. Yeah. So, I don't know. This film does everything it needs to. Audio description wise, there was one term with audio description where I was like, what? And they go into they go into a diner, right? And then they sit down at a diner, and they have a waitress that comes to the table, and it says something like when Jennifer Lawrence orders, after she orders, that the waitress writes it down with her pitchfork. And I was like, with what? I've never heard that term used. This is not British audio description. This is an American narrator, or at least a Canadian one. So this is not one of those weird things where we hear torch all the time, or boot, you know, the boot of a car. So I don't know where pitchfork came from, but I was like, what? Because in my brain, this woman immediately had a giant pitchfork, and she was like holding up in the edge. I've got this. I was like, is this a barn themed restaurant? Does her pen have a pitchfork at the end? Like I thought way too much about a prop that was so inconsequential and did not matter. And now I'm talking about it. So pen is fine. Pencil? Pencil or pen? If you're not going to immerse us in the themed restaurant with the rest of the narration, that was the other thing that confused me, because I felt like there wasn't a whole lot of like things to let me know that maybe they were in a barn. So I was like, I don't understand. Maybe there some, you know, waiter or waitress will comment on here and be like, oh yeah, we call that pitchfork. That's a term, but I don't think anybody else would use it who wasn't a waiter or waitress. And I'd be like, obviously the person who wrote this description used to be a waiter or waitress at some point in their life. But the big sort of, is this audio description exceptional or not, has nothing to do with that. We're gonna give that one a pass because this, ladies and gentlemen, has a dance sequence. The whole climax of this film leads to a dance sequence. So how fire is that dance sequence is the question. And I thought they did a really good job. This is a film that I've seen visually, and I thought, from what I remembered, it's been a minute, but from what I remembered, I think they did a really good job describing the final dance. They do some like pre stuff, little like dance things, but the big moment is that all leads up to is this tournament she wants to compete in, and how will they do in that? And there's betting around it because uh, because De Niro plays a just a incredible gambler, a guy who just loves to gamble and has to gamble on like everything. And yeah, so it I thought it was really good. I thought they did a really good job of describing the dance, but not in a way that's like for dancers, but like is for an audience. I'm sure dancers come into this and they're like, but how? Did they jete? Did they, and they're looking for like exact dance terminology, but that's not everybody. So sort of like the thing with the pitchfork. It's like, if that is a term that waiters and waitresses use, cool. It's not one that we use. We tend to just go with pen or pencil. Uh, so, um, yeah, you want to try to get to the widest audience possible, and there that would be, you know, especially since the film isn't about that. This isn't like Center Stage or A Chorus Line where, these are about dancers. So you want to make sure that you try to level up the audio description a little bit when talking about dance. That's not this. So I thought they did a really good job. Um, Overall, I really love Lining's Playbook. The audio description, again, passed the test when it needed to pass the test. It has things that it can't avoid that are just confusing setups. It's so weird to hear Cooper and De Niro constantly be mentioned in the same sequence, since Cooper's character is a junior and De Niro's is a senior. So their names are so close together that hearing them constantly bounce back and forth off of each other when they're doing something or moving around a room is a bit much. I'm not gonna lie. When I was cited, I would have just seen Bradley Cooper and De Niro and forgotten what their names were, and just seen two actors who have been in a ton of things that are instantly recognizable moving around a room, and not even thought about that. But we need names to move around a room, so and to know what they're doing and who's doing what and who's looking at who and all that kind of stuff. So it does get kind of jumbled when they're in the same room together, but for the most part, I fell in love with this movie again. I need to watch this film more. It's a film that I honestly have underwatched. It feels like a film that I would love to put up in my top echelon of films and say, this is an A+ film. It feels like it's so borderline on that, but there's something about it where I haven't watched it in 12 years. And I don't know why, because the second time through was just as good. Like if this was fresh this year, which is so weird because when you go to IMDb, I IMDb just to make sure, like, did I miss any cast members or anything like that? And there's an option to see showtimes, and I'm like, what? There's no way this is in theaters. I mean, I know our theaters are hard up for films, but there's no way. And then I clicked on it, and it's like, there are no showtimes available. I was like, why is this here? Why is this button on, on this film? So, yeah, I would definitely, it would be, I mean, I like it better than Maestro. So I'm just gonna say that. Anyway, Silver Linings Playbook. Excellent film. Check it out on Netflix. Audio described. Everything you need out of life. I'm giving Silver Linings Playbook an A. That's it for me. Please click like and subscribe. I hear likes are important. I don't know, subscribes are important. Something about that. That's what at least other YouTubers keep saying. Sometimes they interrupt a video to sell you their food delivery service. And I want to be one of those people. I'm going to talk about this film, but first, let me tell you about my meal prep habits. Uh, anyway, my website is macmovieguy.com. You can follow me on X, Threads, or Instagram at MacTheMovieGuy. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org, and let you know what is audio description, where you can watch it. And you can go to the adna.org, that's the adna.org, and let you know who's narrating your favorite films and television series. That's it for me today. I will watch something else and see you guys on the other side.